We got a special guest. We got special guests today on Educate the Culture. I'm really honored to do this because I feel like this is Charleston's royalty to me. Yeah, this is the royal family. I like to look at them like the royal family, man. Yeah, man.
You are so kind.
But I just want to give y'all flowers right out the gate. I think y'all are an amazing family. I think y'all really make the culture look good. You know what I'm saying? And first, another thing, from a man to man, because a lot of the times we don't give men credit, right? Men, for some reason, we don't give each other credit, man. We talk down on each other so much. And I just want to say, man, I watched you for a while, you know what I mean? And I kind of can say, when I say I watched you grow up, not like coming from a kid, I watched you mature and morph into something that I think that, you know, your family and your children can really, like, you know, stand on and be proud of. So I just want to appreciate.
That's awesome.
I appreciate that, man. Same for you. Same for you, man. Seeing a lot of growth, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. We just gotta uplift, you know, brother to brother. We gotta, you know, start uplifting each other more. That's just how my take on it, man. But you know, like I said, beautiful family, beautiful kids. Y'all have a lot going on, and it seems like to me like an exercise keeping all of this going. Like it's like a cardio workout keeping all of this going. So one thing I do want to ask, you know, feel free, either one of y'all could take the question, but I'm big on like finances and financial literacy. So what is your first memory of like money, and was it a good memory or a bad memory? First memory though.
Together, I can do first memory together.
Okay, I like the way you set that up.
But I would say I think we went on our first cruise together. He put up all the front costs for the cruise and paid for it. And
Like a real boss.
Like a real boss. It was an amazing time. And then during the cruise, there was this money machine. And it was the claw where you could grab stacks of hundreds. So he went and lost a lot of money playing at the casino. And then we needed to recoup. And he was coming back to me like a little puppy dog, like, because I ended up winning a couple of stacks of hundreds, and I would just hand it over to him without no resistance. Like, yeah, here, go make some money back. And so he ended up taking our last dollars, right, and winning it all back in the casino, and ended up getting everything he paid for the cruise back. So that's my, I guess, the most critical memory for money that I remember for us as a couple, because it was like, all right, you paid for this cruise. We lost a lot of money during the cruise for spend it. And I was like, here, go get it back. And that's exactly what he did. So
yeah, definitely been a good team from the early days. I love blackjack. I love blackjack. If you got blackjack anywhere we're going, I'm definitely gonna play a hand or two. So yeah, it's really good. You know, you when you go on those cruises, you rack up a bill that you know more often than not don't see until it's time to get off the cruise. So just being able to get all that money back, as she stated, was pretty dope.
And we were so young, young. It was fun. It was fun.
How old were y'all?
I want to say
23.
And I was 21, 22, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
around that age.
So, like, my thing is, my slogan is financial trauma. So, it was like a traumatizing financial situation because of what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
And
it
then
was.
something helped heal y'all when y'all won the money back.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all kind of healed in that moment from the financial trauma.
And learn to be a partner. Learn to be partners, because we're in this together. it might have been one person action, but like we got to get through it together.
That's a team. Yeah. I like that. He took a shot, might have missed. He caught the rebound, passed it back to him, then he dunked it.
That's right.
You know. So all right. So is that's where you want to start with your financial journey? Allowance?
Yeah.
Or
I mean that would be it. It'd be chores and allowance, so doing chores. And at that time, like $10 every Friday if we did our chores throughout the week. And then there was a point where my mom was dating a guy, and it was like every A we brought to him, he would give us $20. So me and my brother kind of went in the closets. Both of my brothers just went through the closets and found A's from years ago and brought them, and he just kicked out $20 per A. So I think that was kind of my first interaction with kind of incentivizing good performance and stuff like that. So that stuck with me for a while.
I like that because that started very early, and I'm sure that helped mold you for you to remember that all the way into adulthood. That let me know like your brain was in the right space early on. A lot of us wasn't like that. Like I come from that too. Like I would get money allowance however I got it, and I always would go buy something that I could take to school. Now that you're so far away from a store that I know you want, and I could put my little tax on it, and I would sell it. My mind always been there. So I connect with you there. And now, like how I said, you guys got a lot going on. So when I first met you guys, y'all were both into music, right? So first I want to start there. Like, how did you get into music? What influenced you to do it? What was it like? What was that whole experience like?
I think for me, I just was always into music. My dad actually is a really good singer. One of my earliest memories when they got married, or they renewed their vows, he sung "Ribbon in the Sky" to my mom, and just that just always stuck with me. And then I from there just started, as I got a little bit older, started writing and recording. We had this cousin that had a studio on James Island where I grew up, and we would go to his house, and he used to sing. His name was Mr. Unknown. Sounded just like R. Kelly, but a really good singer, and he would record me and stuff like that, and then the passion just took off from there, really.
Okay. What about you?
Very similar. I grew up in a studio with my dad. He had a studio on Ashley Phosphate Road. And him and his group used to record music all the time. He produced music. So I was born into it. My first session was like so horrible. I think I cried.
No.
But I did. But I always loved it, and then I perfected my craft and my talent. Perfected,
I
was better than you.
She used that word loosely. She, because she couldn't hold a candle to beat, but she was
jokes
good.
with me like that all the time, and I tell him like, let's freestyle, let's battle, and see who wins.
So even outside of that, like the versus battle where they kind of So we did that. We was in the car. We let the kids decide. Like I played some of my joints from back in the day, and let them vibe out. Then she played some of her joints, and the kids voted. I don't really gotta say who they picked, but
they didn't pick you.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Okay,
they did.
Well, how about listen? We're gonna do a part 2 to this interview. We're gonna settle the score. We're just gonna do a versus and let the people choose.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That is.
But
that is.
Put them on the spot.
Live.
Because anytime it's a freestyle, I got that all day. All day.
You see how she just moved that? Like you was talking about doing music, but she said it's a freestyle because she already know once we do the music.
My type of music is freestyle.
Okay. So hey man, this is stewing up
and
like
we're very competitive.
This stewing up like a good boxing match. You know how you know how those boxing matches start stewing up, and they start. Just don't flip the equipment over when y'all start fighting.
No, I
That's
know.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, I very similar. My dad, so got into music because of my dad. Still love music because of my dad.
Okay. And right now, are y'all still currently working on music? How does that work?
So, I'm writing. No one knows. Just me.
Now they do.
Well, now you do.
No,
So.
no, I was just messing with it.
Yeah, I'm still writing. I don't get in the studio to record anymore. I'd rather my 8-year-old take take it from where I left off for sure. But yeah, I still do write.
Okay.
My phone is full of lyrics.
Another thing that I noticed, right? You guys are also entrepreneurs. And I was wondering, like, how did this all transition like this? Because I don't see the transitions. I just see the boom. This is what we doing. That's all I see.
He can take that one.
How does, going from, let me ask you this, what came after? Because I'm assuming the music was first.
Mm-hmm.
What was next after that?
For me, it was comedy.
Right. That's
Comedy.
like right and left. Like, how did that come together? Like bringing music, going from music to comedy. How did you transition like that?
Well, with music, I had fun with it. It was good. I performed on TV and did a lot of did songs with Young LA and just some of the other musicians, and it was just I felt like you weren't gonna get the kind of support locally. It just wasn't there. With doing that, and comedy just always who I was as a person. It was anybody that knows me knows that being serious is sometimes a struggle for me. So I just went to transition to what I knew, unintentionally. Really, I just started doing different short videos of just stuff that I thought was funny, and it really went in a bigger direction than I thought it was going to, forming into the acting on HBO and then some of the other stuff that came from that. But ultimately it was just finding something that I would get the support from locally. Everybody can relate to comedy. Everybody likes to laugh. Everybody likes to feel good, and just taking that and making it into what I made it was just it's almost natural.
And from my perspective, it seemed like the city really supported that movement, and from that point on, and like I said, I'm on the outside looking in, my perspective, it just seemed like you were golden after that. Like anything you put out, anything you touch, it could be business, whatever it is, it was supported. That's how I feel. That's how, I viewed it. Because it seemed like, once again, I might be going a little ahead of myself. It seems like after that, you move more into the entrepreneurial.
Right.
And I was like, wow, this family right here is amazing, right? Because I feel like I do a lot of things. So when I start recognizing people that I'm like, wait a minute, these people doing as much as me or maybe even more, I'm like blown away by it, because I feel like a lot of people can't keep up with me. So when I start seeing that, I'm like, all right, yeah, this family really got it. So now, am I ahead of myself saying that, like, after not after, but during your comedy career, you started moving more into entrepreneurship and ownership?
A little bit after. My main job, I'm at Boeing. Been there for quite some time. About 7 years at the time.
Wait. Don't just speed past that. Like, Boeing ain't like Wendy's or something like that. Like this is a global brand. So being there, let's hone in for 1 second right there, because you mentioned it. But Boeing is a big deal. So, and from my understanding, both of you guys are at Boeing, right? Right. So I'm not pocket watching or nothing like that, right? But it sounds to me like a lot of money is coming in the house, but I'm not pocket watching. Just trust me, I'm not pocket watching.
Gotcha.
But nah, that's a big brand, and that's powerful having both of you guys there. So I want to really speak on that before you transition. how is it you and your wife working at the same place at
On
the
the
same
same shift at the
Oh.
same time. In the same meetings.
time? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
it's fun, honestly. I think coming in entry level, 10 years, 13 years ago, if you include contract time, and then being able to make it to where I am today was incredible. Honestly, there was just so much opportunity there, and then a lot of other leaders that notice talent and want to invest in it kind of made me want to be that same person. So ever since I've been there, excellent company. Chelsey was doing excellent in her role over at AT&T, and I think she kind of just saw the opportunity that was there and decided to come over there with me, and she did the same thing. She was able to take off and go into leadership, and she does excellent as well. It's definitely the land of opportunity. A company that size, just the amount of jobs that you can do and the amount of impact that you can make on a daily basis that impacts everybody, the whole world, because it is a global company, is definitely owe a lot there, and that kind of helped start everything else.
And on top of that, right, y'all can consolidate because now date night could be lunch breaks now, right?
I was about to say that's my best part. So, my role at Boeing, I struggle with going to get my own lunch. So he brings me lunch.
Such a gentleman.
Yeah. And then on the days like where his meetings conflict him from bringing me lunch, I forget that it's like a luxury, like a perk that I have for him to be on the same shift with me. And so those few times where I don't get my lunch, I gotta remind myself, girl, not a whole lot of people got this anyway. So,
Yeah, that is.
I love us being on the same shift. On the other side of that, though, we do have some challenges being on the same shift, going in early and getting off at the time that we do with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we do rely on our family a lot, which we have a great support system here when it comes to the kids, getting them to school. We can pick them up. So I will say same shift is awesome, but we also have our family supporting us too.
That's amazing. And one thing that I just thought about on the fly, right? Me personally, I always have the way I look at like finances and stuff like that, right? I always hear people say you got to have several streams of income, right? I think that's subjective. I feel like if you have a powerful enough stream of income, that can build wealth if you utilize it right. The other streams is what sustain it.
Yep.
That's how I look at it. Like, I don't think you need so many streams of income to become wealthy, or you don't need so many investments to become wealthy. I think you need a lot of investments to sustain the wealth. So what I'm watching and this is kind of like morphing right in front of my eyes, right? I'm like, okay, they have a powerful tool economically in their household, and I'm watching y'all build the layers around it. And when that situation form, I feel like I'm not gonna say when, because I don't know what your situation is. It could have already formed, but what I'm seeing is something powerful for the future. So once again, I just wanted to take my hats off to y'all because I'm watching it unfold in front of my eyes.
Thank you.
So another question I have for you guys is, like, when it comes to finances, what are y'all doing in your house for your children to understand the power of the finance and building wealth? Because it's almost obvious that a couple like y'all and how y'all move, y'all are doing some form of financial literacy in the house. It could just be a piggy bank. Hey, go sweep the floor. Mm-hmm. Here's $1. Put 25 cents in your pocket.
Our kids love
75.
Yeah.
You know, what are y'all?
Got to be careful before they forget the value. They are extremely spoiled. But some of the same things that I mentioned at the beginning, like how I was rewarded or incentivized, good efforts and for chores and stuff like that. So some of the same things, they'll ask for money or to go somewhere, and the place they want to go is expensive. So, hey, well, the dishes are there, they need to be washed, and just different ways. And then at the same time, just like Summer's music video that we did a while ago with the lemonade. It's just different ways that they can kind of learn that effort produces what they want, and just help wrap their mind around that growth is kind of what we do in the house regarding them.
Yeah. Also, for our mirror booth and 360 booth business, they have been behind the scenes helping us set up for some of the events. And it's a willingness, like, can we help? Like, we want to go certain events, we can't have them come along, but for the ones that we can, like, they're ready to do it. They're ready to work. They are interested in starting their own businesses.
That's what I'm talking
one
about.
has her own business, and then the other, she's just now trying to figure out what exactly she wants as a business. So they are really following the footsteps of taking ownership of kind of what they envision for their future. And I think entrepreneurship is definitely taking a role in at their young age.
I got this thing, with Mason's Restoration Station, which is, my cell phone repair business. Every time I get paid from a customer and it's cash, I'll count it out in front of them, and they see how fast it happens, right? With certain devices, it'll take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, and they see it, and they're like, oh, and they put their hand out, and it's great that you can put your hand out, but watch how it happens, and watch the magic behind it. And hopefully one day you'll work towards getting something like that for yourself.
Nah, that's so dope. And me sitting here and the way my mind works, I'm always like in business mode and trying to like elevate. Like I could package y'all up as a family and sell y'all. Like, look, y'all want a family? Read this. This is how they operate, and you'll be successful. The end. But I think y'all could put together like something really unique within like an ebook or something like that, just documenting what y'all do. And I just feel like it'll resonate with a lot of families. That's just how I feel. Like I said, I hold y'all with high regard. So I think anything possible with how united y'all are and y'all do everything together, I just think that's just amazing. Y'all at Boeing, and it's pretty much like home away from home because you're still with your wife, you're just missing the kids, right?
It's not always a great thing, and sometimes you get enough of her at the house.
It is what it is.
And I can imagine having a break from the kids.
Yeah,
I can always use the break from the kids. So, but let me ask you this: how do you go from? Well, I wouldn't say go from, but merge entrepreneurship with having a 9-to-5 with your family and things like that. Like, how do you make that transition? Because you have a lot of transitions. So how do you make that transition as well?
I'll say it starts with being horrible at money.
That's a great teacher.
I was one of those individuals. I mean, ever since I was probably a contractor, to where I would go and I would purchase things initially that were out of my means, and I'd be like, it's okay, I'll make the money to afford this one day. and
Financial trauma.
Yeah, and just put myself in a deeper and deeper hole. But I always did it. I always got that promotion, and then I'd do it again. I'd go and get something that's out of my means, and then I'd go and get another promotion, and then that was a cycle. And I started thinking about it as like, there's 7 days in a week. Right? We get a paycheck every 14 days. That's 13 days that we could be getting paid in that we're not, right?
Correct.
And I, it's we go to work and we give our all at work. Like, we really do. We put in hours, and then we leave. And a lot of times we'll hang out with the kids, or we'll binge watch a TV show. But there's a lot of time there that we could actually be finding a way to make our money make money. So we were just out on leave. I believe what the first business was when Summer was, you were pregnant with Summer.
I think so, yeah.
It was Summer. Nope, Summer's 8. It was Rain.
It was Rain.
It was Rain. So our 3-year-old, and kind of like we talked about earlier, is I did amass a pretty big following with the comedy, and in the back of my mind, I see people kick off successful businesses and stuff like that, but where they struggle at is getting the support for the business. So being that my social medias and my pages had already had the support that I had from comedy, I believe it was about 70,000 followers, and that was still there. Although I wasn't really doing the comedy anymore, they still followed up on the family. They still watched the videos of Summer and stuff like that. So it's like, well, how do I leverage the following that I have to make money? And just brainstorming, Googling, like, what are some businesses that have a high profit margin? And I didn't get it there at first, but I had the Galaxy Fold at the time, the foldable phone.
Right.
And I dropped it, and I was like, oh, okay, dang, I got to get this fixed because the next phone's coming out. I was really big on having the next product, and I called a company, and they were like, oh, it's gonna be $400 to fix this. And this wasn't the foldable screen. This was a little glass on the outside of it. And it's like $400. Like, seriously? So I Googled, how much does the part cost? And the part was $5 if I ordered it from China. And I said, let me look on YouTube and see, kind of how much does it cost or how long does it take to actually fix this device? And, it was a 30-minute video. And it's like, so if they are buying this part for $5 and they're charging $400 to fix it, and it takes them 30 minutes to do it, they're making $395 in 30 minutes. And, I did some research, and I applied that same, formula to all aspects of cell phones and electronics and devices and stuff like that. And, ultimately there was a really high profit margin. So that was kind of the idea and how the idea came about. And, so I kicked off Mason's Restoration Station, and I had this whole, thing going on to where I would just fix families' devices for free just to see. And it was, if I can't fix it, I'll buy you a new one. And, we had the money coming in, so that wasn't a problem. It did get really expensive at first between failures and I probably should have disconnected the battery before I did that, and just, various parts that you don't learn until you actually fail at it first, right? So, I failed, and, I finally got it to the point to where now I don't need to watch videos anymore, and just really took off from there. Launched it on Facebook after I, felt like I wasn't gonna mess up customers' devices, and did $80,000 from that first year. So it was
Nice.
it was really, really good contract with ECPI. Whenever they broke their devices and they got a certain amount, they would call me and I would fix them. So it just, that following kind of helped. And from there, it's like, all right, well, let's maximize the rest of our time. And, she wanted to do events, and, started the event business. And
Let me say this, right? That story for what I'm actually doing with this platform, that's the prototype. That was the example of educate the culture. You just educated the culture. You walked us through how you took your business from start to finish. I'm saying from followers, how you transitioned and took followers from a whole nother walk of life that you was doing and turned it into something else. And then you showed us like the ups and downs, because a lot of people just show you the pretty sides of what they're doing. They don't talk about the failures. And you did that. You showed us how creative you were with actually getting the wheel turning to where it's profitable. Not to mention, you actually gave the game. A lot of people don't give the game, right? So what you gave, people could just take this episode, take that little window, and turn it into a business, you know, and it don't have to be the same business. It's just the fact that you showed how you researched it, the idea, the bumps, you stuck with it and actually turned it into a profit. So to me, that's just great. That's educate the culture right there.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it wasn't just creating a business, but it was how many people out there are like me and don't have $400 to spend it.
I
So
was just about to say that, like, he's fixed devices for people for nothing, for no profit, right? And then also, it's not always about what you can get from other people. What can you give to other people? Because we do have the means to do that, and I've seen him do that several times with his with Mason's Restoration.
Yeah, that's the integrity of a man. You know, like that. I like that integrity, and like that's why I spoke about him, and in the fact that you support it and you support him like that. I feel like neither is bigger than the other, but it coming together like that, you can't ask for anything more, y'all. If you do, you're being greedy.
Yeah. The only thing I say, I leave him alone while he's in the garage, because that's where he works his business for the phones and devices. I just don't like when he leaves the boxes on the kitchen counter. And that is my biggest thing. And till this day, no matter what, I don't know why, he still won't carry his boxes in the garage with him.
Just know when you see boxes, you see money.
That's right.
Let's look at it like that. And another thing, I want to dig more into your business as well. I want to hear. Let's educate the culture on your business as well.
Yeah.
So I want to get more into detail about that.
Yep. So Raining Occasions is my business. When we were going, so my transition is a little bit different from his, because when I decided to join Boeing, it required a lot more from me, because I'm a mommy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's daddy. Daddy does a whole lot, but then mommy still takes quite a lot more in the house, especially when he's venturing off to do and further progress what he has going on. So I pondered on my business for about 8 months. I couldn't even get the name of my business. I was sending it to like my friends, family, like, hey, I have this list of ideas that I want to do, and I have these names, and I use my support system to help me narrow down exactly what my passion was versus what I should go out and do. And events have always been something that I enjoy doing, like birthday parties. I do the decorations. I don't go and pay anybody when it comes to that, because I enjoy doing it. So me and him had a conversation, like, I'm ready to launch my business. I just need you to help me pick out this one or this one. And so we decided with the event business, and he actually, without my knowledge, went and purchased some of the items in my cart. I had no idea. So
that's my guy. That's
like,
my guy.
I'm sitting here on my side, like, waiting. I'm like, all right, on this paycheck, I'm gonna have X amount extra. And me and him are kind of like opposites when it comes to finances. I hold on to money. I don't like to spend it. So we balance each other out really well.
Correct.
And so I was kind of planning dates and months of when I could actually go and purchase items for my business. Whole time, he just went and did it. And like, it showed up, and he presented it to me. And I was like, oh my goodness. He had the placards for Raining Occasions, the stickers to go on my mirror booth and my 360 booth. And it's just like, you're an amazing guy. You're an amazing husband. You're an amazing partner.
Right.
thank you.
Whatever. But no, it was like, and actually he's my only employee for my business. I can't do it without him. It's too heavy. So
Do you like to pay?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So you are maximizing
I
your
am.
employee.
I am. But that business, like the kids can help out with it. Even my niece, like she's getting of the age where she's applying for jobs and stuff like that. And I tell my sister all the time, tell her to come on over,
Right.
because she's especially driving now. She can come on over, teach her how to run it, and long as we have the other side support to help lift the equipment that we have, that's income in her pockets. Is income in the oldest pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the youngest, there are things like cleaning my stanchions, all that stuff. Like they're learning they're seeing us how we run our business, and they're learning, oh, I can do it on my own. So,
And this is why the Masons are necessary in the community, right? Because y'all are building wealth. This is a form of generational wealth. Y'all passing on the information. You know, we could pass on money, but if you don't pass on the information or the knowledge with the money, there's no need to even pass on the money.
Yep.
But I think the way y'all are teaching and giving experience, to me, that's more incredible than actually passing on money, because we kind of cripple our future when we do that. That's my opinion.
Yep.
And one thing I want to touch on that I think we may have overlooked is real estate. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all lit up with that.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I said, you know, what can't the Masons do? You know, at this point. So yeah, let's get a little bit into this real estate venture.
It's weird. It was something that was always on my bucket list. I initially didn't get into it so I could go and represent people with listings and represent people with buying. I really just wanted to see investment opportunities or have more insight on investment opportunities that you don't see when you're not a real estate agent. You know, access to certain platforms like the MLS and stuff like that. But realistically, I took a 2-week vacation from work. Me and Chelsey were supposed to go out of town, and she had some conflicts at work, I believe, and she couldn't take vacation. So I was like, all right, well, how do I maximize this 2 weeks off? So I found a 90 hour online course, and I kind of crammed 12 hours a day. And my commitment was I'm not going back to work until I I get this curriculum, and then I pass the real estate exam, and I ended up cramming it, like I said, about 9 hours a day, and I think the Friday before I was supposed to go back to work, I drove to Columbia, because taking a test here is sometimes like a 2-month wait just to get it scheduled. So I drove to Columbia. I passed the national and I failed the state, and I said, all right, well, looks like I can't go back to work, and I actually did drive back up the next business day, and I passed the state, and from there, I got my license, decided to go at Keller Williams, and at the same time, I believe the first person was my dad. Was interested in some property, and I represented him, and from there it just kind of just became probably one of the best part-time jobs that somebody could have. It's really lucrative. But again, I now do have those insights. Obviously the market isn't the best right now for buying, but being able to see, all right, this is a potential investment. It's got some work, but is this something that we want to invest in? Chelsey, and she can say yes or no, and then from there we go. I mean, it actually put a whole lot of money in our pocket. So we, with our first house, in order to prepare for the future, I put the first house in my name, and then whenever we bought the second house, we put it in her name, and
Right.
that way it kind of helped with the approval and everything else. Instead of hiring a real estate agent, I was able to kind of lease out the first house and do the rental property thing for a while, and then ultimately ended up selling it, and then not having to pay somebody to represent us. Really about $25,000 in our pocket. So Definitely was a good move, but really unplanned. Kind of like oh, it would be nice. And
Okay. Like, man, everything y'all do it at the biggest, the best level. I feel like people need to get to know y'all a little more. Y'all have so many layers to the family. And one thing I want y'all to go back and do, actually tell the people how to get in contact with the businesses that y'all just named and went over, because I'm sure y'all do a lot. And people, everything that y'all name, I need.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, first of all, I need to have it recorded so I can watch this over and know how to get in contact with these businesses when I need to utilize what y'all have. So if y'all want to, give the information on the businesses, let's do that.
Yeah, for sure. At Mason's Restoration Station. It's on Facebook. It's a Facebook page. Kind of shows a cell phone with some screwdrivers on the side of it, black and gold logo. And obviously messaging me direct is how you book and make inquiries on how much we charge to fix certain devices.
Okay.
And Raining Occasions also on Facebook and Instagram. But I also do personal inboxes for mine. And he also takes personal inboxes for mine as well.
But we prefer her take them.
But one thing you didn't mention for the real estate, when he drove to Columbia, the kids and I went to, and we went to the Columbia Mall. I took them to the Columbia Mall while he was performing his test. When he got back in the car, the kids were excited to know, yay, nay. And so his transparency, letting them know he passed one, failed the other, and he had to go back and do another try. The kids were so happy for him. They were still so happy, and they also understood Daddy didn't pass one test and one exam for it, so he has to go back. And when he went back, he shared the news that he passed it, and now he has his license for it. I think they were even more proud of him. So he brought the kids along with that journey too. And it's okay to tell your kids you failed. It's okay. Our kids are very, our transparency with them about a lot of our moves, like, I think they appreciate that.
It's good put.
And it's good for them to see it too.
Y'all put a lot into your family, and y'all feeding them, in my opinion, the right tools that they'll need to succeed. Y'all setting them up. A lot of people that we know and we grew up around, once we look back, a lot of us was set up to fail. Not like intentionally, but because they didn't have the information. And now that y'all have the information, y'all are breaking that curse that we've been handed down for so long. And that's why I keep saying, I could package y'all as a success story that I would just like, once someone buy a home through you and we leave a closing gift, it's gonna have that Mason's pamphlet inside to show them how to operate inside their house. But yeah, I could package y'all up and make a whole lot of money. Yeah. And it's not like I'm stalking your page or anything. I don't want you to feel that way, but I saw you flying a plane. It don't get no bigger than that. Like I've met a lot of people drove motorcycles, cars, but a plane.
Yeah, I working at Boeing and kind of being around planes all day, every day. You kind of wonder what it's like, right? I think in 2017, I made a post that one day, I'm gonna be flying this, and it was a picture of me sitting in the cockpit of politically correct, sitting in a flight deck of a 747, and I think one of the memories popped up on my timeline. I was like, hey, I said I was gonna do this, so let's do it. So I signed up for CHS flight school and currently don't have my pilot's license, but I'm close, building the hours right now. I did pass my written pilot exam a couple months back. So now just building the hours for my solo flight, and then I will be a licensed private pilot.
Flying me everywhere.
You talk about manifestation like that. You manifest. That's major. Like, just when I thought, like, I'm like, okay, nah, I think I've done a little more. I think that trumped me so high.
Not at all. Anybody can do it.
Man, that trumped me so high. I'm like, yeah, you know, he does a lot. I do a lot. We still about neck to neck. Man, he pulled the big gun out this time. Try this.
It's nerve-wracking. I think it's a lot different flying in an airplane the size of a 737 or even being in a 787. But those little Cessnas, it's small. It's a lot different. But anybody could do it. It's just the dedication and wanting it for yourself. So.
That's dope, man. That's some of the dopest stuff I ever heard, honestly. But I got a quick question. If you could go back to let's say, I'm gonna ask both of y'all. I'm gonna start with you. To the 20-year-old Tim, what would you tell that young man?
I'll tell him, pay more attention to your surroundings. I think, in hindsight, there's a whole lot of stalking that went on from Chelsey. Like, she was following me everywhere, and I just never noticed until somebody's like, hey, that girl behind the car has been following you. And I turn around, and sure enough, she's right there. And, apparently it's been going on for years. So, finally confronting her, and I really got to know her from there. So I tell myself, pay attention to your surroundings.
Wait, first of all, you know what? It's okay.
It's okay?
Some people are delusional, and
delusional.
You really don't have to clear anything up. I'm big on that, so I just want to.
Yeah, let's see the real side of the Mason house. Let's really see that side.
Right.
Of it. Yeah.
Wow, the audacity. But yeah, that is good. If you could go back and tell yourself, pay attention to your surroundings. And I know what he's referring to, just certain situations out of life at that time. That's good. Good for you. It ain't got nothing to do with me, though.
If I could go back to 20-year-old me, I would, I don't know how much I would change. I think who I am today is a result of everything that I've been through in life. I'm not saying that I am the model citizen or anything else, but if I could sit across from my 20-year-old me right now, I'd probably say don't party as much. Hairline's not gonna look like that forever.
That's funny.
But don't lose hope. Keep going, because your future looks a lot better.
Okay. And what about you, Chelsey?
I would tell my 20-year-old self. I would tell myself, keep going with music. It was something that I loved. It took a while for me to get over that I wasn't doing music anymore. And then the second thing would be, I would say, speak up more.
Okay.
Speak up more.
No,
I do it now.
No, you speak up a whole lot. Let's not. Let's tell yourself maybe when you get older you should speak less. That'd have been something good to tell yourself.
No, it's funny because now I tell myself to speak less. But back then,
why is yourself not listening? Just don't let it just go in one ear and out your mouth, in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, because when you're that age, you're finding yourself. And if you don't speak up for yourself, you may go on a path that the little you, when you were growing up, you may not stay on that path. So speak up more for yourself.
I like that. And I think it speaks to volume for not just the 20-year-old you, but the 20-year-old, any young lady that's coming from that young, older teenage going into adulthood. I think that speaks volumes what both of y'all said, speaking to the young man, the young woman. I think that, each one of y'all said something that, youngsters can grow from. And then, like I said, y'all are putting on a performance that they can follow y'all. If they go back and just really do some research and follow y'all, I really think that, you know, following that path, of course, carve out your own lane, but following that blueprint, they'll turn into some really amazing people, because I watched y'all do it, and I'm personally here to say we appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
All right, so this is Educate the Culture, and this is actually episode number 1.
Oh, I love it. Look,
I didn't want to tell y'all
Yeah,
this.
I didn't know that. I was actually on the way in. Hey, where can we look at the other ones? But
Yeah,
no,
this is
that's
episode number 1.
that.
I handpicked this to be number 1. I knew it would be amazing.
Oh, make sure y'all go and vote for us. We're number 2 right now in Variety's magazine's favorite couple of America, and the winner gets $20,000 as well as a feature in the magazine. So please vote. It's the link's on my page. You can donate money to get additional votes, but you get 1 free vote a day. Do that for us.
Please vote, and share this with people so they can vote as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. The Masons, everyone.